Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Divine Fashion Clothing, a bag maker, a pattern seller for both bags, shoes and clothing. Anything clothing we make pattern for it. And today I'm introducing our new pattern, Tiana bag. The weight of the bag is 8.5, the height is 7 inches and the dimension of the bag is 4 inches. A very small bag. On the inside of the bag, it comes with a magnetic snap and also an inner zipper pocket to keep your key, your ATM and your essential safe. The main compartment is spacious enough. It's a beautiful bag and it's a unique design. You can see the front and the back of the bag is a unique design. The bag is very quick and easy. It's a quick, easy make bag. It can be carried as handbag and shoulder bag. We are saying a big thanks to our subscriber, those who love our video, and we are coming across our channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. So let's come along for the tutorial of this beautiful bag. Thank you for subscribing and God bless you. On the wrong side of the two main panels, I will mark 1/4, 0.6 centimeter line around the panels, and I will align the main panel interfacing to the line mark. But if you are using a thick material, a thick filling of fabric, you don't need to add interfacing to the main panels. Like this video, the material I'm using is a sturdy fabric, a hard material, so I won't be adding any interfacing to the parts. But if you are using a soft material, you can go ahead and attach the interfacing to the wrong sides of the two main panel. Also, I will repeat the step for the base panels. So I actually wanted the base panel to be firm, so I will be adding interfacing to the base panel so that the base panel can stand firm, so that the bag will be able to sit well, because the bag will not have bag fit. So I'm adding interfacing to the base panel. So I will just sew it around. I will sew the interfacing around because the interfacing I use is very soft interfacing. So if you are using a thick interfacing, then you go ahead and mark 1/4, 0.6 centimeter around the base panel, the wrong side. Then you will now add the interfacing to the mark line. You press it in place with your iron, or if you are using a adhesive interfacing. So I will just sew mine around the interfacing to the base panel. Now I will notch the center bottom of the two main panels on each short length. The short length is the bottom of the bag. I will notch the center bottom of the two main panel, and also I will repeat the step for the base panel on each long length. I will notch the center of the two sides on the base panel each long length. Now I will align one notch side of the base panel to the north center bottom of one main panel. I will align them right side together, and I will sew on the base panel with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance. I will also repeat the step for the remaining main panel and the other side of the base panel at the notch area. Now I will fold the raw edges toward the base panel on the wrong side of the base panel, and I will top stitch on the base panel with 1/8 0.3 centimeter seam allowance on the right side of the base panel on both sides. Now I will align the sides of the two main panels right side together, and I will sew down from top to bottom with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance. I will repeat step for the remaining two sides on each of the main panels. Now after I'm done, I will match the square area at the bottom and the side base together, and I will sew with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance. I will make sure the center seams and the center of the side base should align. I will repeat on both sides of the bottom, as you can see. And I will turn it right side out. And I will turn right side out. Over to the connectors. I will mark a center line down the length on the wrong side of the two connector panel, and I will add my glue to the wrong side. And I will allow it to get dry. Also on the handle panel, I will mark a center line down the length on the wrong side of the strap, and I will thread and I will insert the toe D-ring into the strap, and I will align the ends, the short end of the strap, right side together, and I will sew with 1/4 0.6 cm seam allowance after I have inserted the toe D-ring. The handle I did here is different from the one on the main pattern. You can decide it on whatever, on each handle of your choice, whether you will go for the one on the pattern or the one in this video. It depends on your choice. After I'm done, I will add my glue to the mark line on the strap. Now I will fold over the connector I added glue with. I'll fold over the edges to the middle line mark. I will fold in each long row edges wrong side together to the center line on both connectors. You can decide to top stitch on the right side with 1/8 0.3 cm if you choose to. I will also repeat the step for the handle panel. And now I will fold the handle strap wrong side together, so the strap will be reduced to 20 inches long. The seams on the strap should be at the center. I will make sure that the seams on the strap will be at the center, and I will push the D-ring to each end of the strap and hold with clip. Now I will top stitch the strap with 1/8 0.3 cm seam allowance around all sides and sewing as close to the D-ring as I can. Now I will insert the connector to the two D-rings on the handle panel, and I will clip and I will set aside. For now, our handle panel is ready. I will set it aside for now. Now I will take the main piece and I will place the two connector panels on the handles on the two sides of the main panels. I will make sure the raw edges of the connectors and the top edges of the main panel will align, and I will bastay on the two connectors edges to hold down, and I will put it on both sides of the piece. Over to the interior of the zipper pocket, I will take one zipper pocket lining and I will transfer the lines on the zipper pocket line pattern piece to the wrong side of the lining. Now I will take the two main lining and at the top I will notch the center top. I will notch the center at the top edges on both main lining, and I will also notch the top center of the zipper pocket lining. And now I will take one main lining. I will align the zipper pocket lining with lines with the line mark right side together, straight and centers. I will make sure the top edges of the two lining align at the notch area, and I will sew on the rectangle line around. I will sew around the rectangle line together with the main lining. Now I will cut along the inner line and corner snipped. I will cut along the inner line and corner snips. I will now turn the zipper pocket lining to the right side through the opening. I will place the zipper pocket opening over the zipper right side up and center, and I will sew the entire way around the zipper window with 1/8 0.3 cm seam allowance. I will now turn the lining to the wrong side and I will align the other pocket lining together and sew around the pocket lining from the top to the side to the bottom and up to the other side with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance. I will align the two zipper pocket lining right side together and I will sew around. I will make sure the top edges of the main lining is I will make sure the top edges of the main lining is out of the way while I sew. I will now align the main lining right side together and I will sew with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance on the two sides of the lining, and also I will sew on the bottom and I will leave a large opening on the lining at the bottom for turning the piece out. I will align the two lining right side together and I will sew on each side with 1/4, and also I will sew a little bit at the bottom of the lining. I will make sure I leave a space, a large space at the bottom of the line. Now I will match the square area at the bottom together and I will sew with 1/4 0.6 centimeter seam allowance. I will make sure the center seam on the sides and the bottom align while I sew. Now I will take the main lining and the main piece. I will align the top edges of the main lining to the top edges of the main panel right side together. The seams on the two piece must align. I will make sure the seams on the two piece align and I will sew with 1/4 seam allowance at the top edges around the two piece. I will turn the piece to the right side through the opening on the lining. And I will align the bottom edges of the main lining to the bottom edge of the main panel wrong side together. The exterior material will be folded down inside and make an upper lining of sorts. From the top, I will measure down 1.5, 3.8 centimeters, and I will make a mark at both the front and back center. This mark will be made on the upper lining that resulted from the exterior folding inside. And I will use my erasable marking pen to make a mark at both center of the front and back. Now I will center the magnetic snap, both the female part and the male part, to the center of the line mark, and I will make a punch, and I will attach the magnetic snap to the mark line on the main panel, means the upper lining that resulted from the main panel. I will make sure the magnetic snap is not showing on the right side of the main piece. It will be only attached to the upper lining that resulted from the main fabric. And I will cover prong with a fabric of scrap interfacing to protect from rubbing in the future. I will attach both the male parts and female parts to the front and back upper lining on the piece. Now I will sew around the magnetic snap to the piece together using I will use a matching thread to blend in with the exterior. I will sew a square around the two magnetic snap, both the male part and female part on each side of the piece to hold down. I will top stitch around. Now I will sew back the opening on the lining. I will sew back the opening I left on the lining for turning out. From the side seam, I will mark 3 inches 8 centimeter line on both sides of the piece with zebra marking pen on the front side. At the center seam, I will mark 3 inches 8 centimeter line at the front side of the bag on both side seam with my erasable marking pen. I will also repeat the same thing for the other side, the back side of the bag. So from the first line, which is 3 inches 8 centimeter line that I first mark, from that line also I will mark 1/3/4, which is 4.6 centimeter line from that first 3 inches line mark. From the first 3 inches line mark, from the first line that I mark, I will mark 1/3/4, 4.6 centimeter line with erasable marking pen on both sides of the piece. Both sides of the front and back of the piece, making it to be two line on each side. That's 4 lines on the front of the bag and 4 lines on the back of the bag. Now, I will fold the 3 inches line in. I will fold the 3 inches line in and fold the 1/3/4 line out like as you are seeing in the picture or in the video. I will fold the 3 inches line will be in and the 1/3/4 line will be out as you are seeing it in the video. That's how you make a fold on the 2 line on each sides of both front and back of the bag. I will also repeat the same thing for the remaining lines at the front of the bag, and also repeat the same thing to the back side. Now I will sew on the straight line with 2 inches 5.1 centimeter seam allowance on the fold. From the top of the fold, you will mark 2 inches and you will sew a straight line. You can see that our bag is ready on both. You sew on both sides. It's actually the top design that make the bag a unique. Thank you for watching. Thank you for buying our pattern. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.